Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you for clicking on this video. Happy Sunday to all. Today's video was inspired by a comment from a viewer who wanted to know how others felt when they saw the narcissist again. This could be after a discard or after going no contact. This, I think, is another important issue worth addressing. So I will list some possible emotions that may arise in this situation and share my own experience. I also hope that others will share their experiences on this matter in the comment section below. Because dealing with a narcissist can be very traumatic. Many of us are left scarred, paranoid, and anxious. So coming face to face with the person who was the cause or source of our distress can be overwhelming, to say the least, especially if we are not ready. I am talking about before you have had time to heal and get over some of the hurt and betrayal, or before you are emotionally ready to do so. For some people, this may not even be an issue, but what we need to realize as well is that we have all had different experiences with a narcissist. And some of us have been hurt more than others. Some of us had a brief run-in with a narcissist. Others have had to endure months, years, and even their lifetime with a narcissist. Some of us had to go through that never-ending smear campaign and have lost family and friends in the process. And the more you have been hurt by a narcissist, the harder it is to be in their presence once you know what they really are about, and especially after going no contact. So there are many possible emotions that may arise when you run into a narcissist again. For some people, it may be anger, others fear, anxiety, shame, sadness, uncertainty, bitterness, disgust, even having panic attacks. It is not easy seeing someone you know who have caused you so much pain. What emotion you experience, I guess, is dependent a lot on what the narcissist put you through. But I can't imagine that there will be any positive emotions or feelings of happiness when you see the narcissist again prematurely. If anything, it would be very natural to get super defensive and get your adrenaline going into the fight or flight mode. But also, some people just freeze as a result of being in shock of seeing this person and just not knowing what to do. One of my viewers described it as like seeing a ghost. As a result, some people might end up running and hiding from the narcissist. That is why establishing no contact is so important in the early stages of your recovery from narcissistic abuse. It does you some good to not have to hear from or see the narcissist. You need that space to gain some clarity and closure. So much work needs to be done before you are emotionally ready to face a narcissist again. I personally avoided family meetups and certain locations to avoid even seeing the narcissist. Was it that I was afraid of the narcissist? No, but it was more about how they made me feel. I would get a very sickly feeling in my stomach. Then there is that bit of anxiety of thinking I would have to even say something to them. Just being in their presence was too repelling a thought to entertain. Seeing a narcissist who has been slandering you relentlessly and carrying on their lives as normal can be very troubling, even disheartening. But narcissists enjoy bringing pain and confusion to the lives of others. And once you understand what they are about and accept who they really are, it helps to view them differently. I am at the point where I still prefer not to see or hear from them again, but if I do, I will just have to keep my emotions in check. I know that I am definitely not afraid of them and will not ever allow them to get close to me again. And I think that is the most important thing we can do, which is set firm boundaries and not ever get taken in by the narcissist again. No matter how they try to charm us or convince us that they may have changed or they want to move forward. This is something I went into in this video, listing the different approaches the narcissist may take in a situation like this. Because once the narcissist knows you know what they are really capable of, they can react in certain ways to convince you otherwise and draw you back in. Unfortunately, narcissists are never really done. If at any point they realize there is more they can get from you, or there is more pain that they can cause you, and they are running short on any other sources of narcissistic supply, you can be sure that they will find the time for you. That is why focusing on your healing and self-love is very important, but also gaining the knowledge necessary to deal with these people so that you are never caught off guard. Okay, that is all I have to say for today. Please remember to share in the comments what your emotions were when you saw the narcissist again, or even what you think they will be if you did. I hope you all found this video helpful. If you did, please be sure to like and share it. Peace and blessings, everyone.